talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. But she need down the ride, oh, I bet that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is J.H. How you doing, Postal family? Is everybody good? Is everybody cool? Everybody clean? Are you crisp? Are you feeling irie today? Let's talk. But first, I'm here to pass on that knowledge, a little bit of that know-how, a little bit of that yum-yum for the belly, food for the mind. I was talking to somebody today and they were like, hey, were you aware that people that try to wait and extend the time that they go and wait for retirement, the age of 67, actually don't make as much money as they think they do? So here's a little nugget for you. A lot of people will sit there and say, I'm going to work until the age of 67 so that I can collect my full benefits from all the work that I've done. I get it. If I just stick around another few years, I'm going to get all this money and I get more money per month so I'm able to survive. I get it. But they had a scenario, and the scenario was twins started working exactly the same time, exact same job, exact same pay. One decided to retire at the age of 62. One decided to retire at the age of 67. They both passed away at the age of 80. Who do you think got more out of retirement? The person at 62, of course, that collected a little bit less because they didn't get their full benefits per month to live, but they collected it longer. They retired at 62, so they collected 18 years of benefits and they were still healthy enough to enjoy those benefits, versus the person that was at 67, where whatever benefits they had and started collecting, they were spending on medications, doctor bills, etc. The moral of my story is, don't put off till tomorrow what you can do today because of the greed. You zim it. Don't be greedy. That's why I keep telling y'all, I ain't got much longer at this place. The moment they say I can retire, I'm out of here. Out of here, dumb. But I also got to remember that I have a younger audience and half of them don't give a damn about retirement because they don't. I don't know why, but shit. But anyway, let's talk about some union chat, shall we? Not quite the union chat that everybody else wants, but carriers, you're not the only union, but you should probably listen because I got some information from my union. I'm not rubbing it in, trust that. But this is what you should be looking forward to. So apparently when they go to the union and conventions and everything, this is the information that I just received. I kind of knew it, didn't know how to translate it to you, so I'm gonna translate it the best way I can. You have, your union heads in every area, and they all come together, and they got it all over the country. They all come together and they bring a resolution, basically a proposal of what everybody collectively would like. And then they all talk about it at the convention. This is what we, and they say, you know what? We're going to vote on it. And if we all agree here at this convention that it's something that we should bring up to the post office, to the USPS, to put in front of them, a proposal, then that's what we'll do. This is what we're going to fight for. So again, your union heads at your local area all go and they say whatever they're supposed to represent you. They're supposed to say, hey, our guys want XYZ. Hey, your guys want XYZ. Your guys want XYZ. They come together. They vote on it. They think about if it's realistic or not. Then they bring it up there. Then they bring it up and they all vote on it. And then they bring it to the USPS and they all, that's what they bargained for. Okay, that's how that works. Anyway, so my people came back and they also, my guy G, You know who you are. I know your son watches. They put a bunch of books on the table, and when they go to the unions, to these things, they write it down basically in layman terms for everybody so that they can read what it is that they were talking about and what their proposals were, so that in layman terms we can understand. It's called transparency. That's what they're doing. G's doing it. So I appreciate that. Me and G be bumping heads all the time, but still. Nonetheless, what they're looking at, and this is something that I never realized. I know I mentioned it in my other video, is that they said they were trying to fight for an all-career workforce, which at some point, some people out here think it's unrealistic. Well, it's unrealistic to them. But the way I see it is that every craft underneath the APWU come in as career except for the clerks. Let that sink in. The APWU covers a bunch of different crafts. They cover the mechanics, they cover the truck drivers, they cover the maintenance. We keep going, and the clerks. Why is it that the clerks are the only craft that comes in as non-career? He just hit me with that today. I was like, well, slap me silly and call me Uncle's David. I didn't even realize that. That's the only craft that comes into the post office as non-career underneath the APWU, which is why I believe my opinion means nothing, but I believe this is not far from out of touch. That's a realistic request. Why not? If every other craft comes in as career, truck drivers, the maintenance mechanics, the VMF vehicle mechanics, every other one comes in as career, except for the clerks, the ones that are hands-on. It doesn't make sense. So I believe they are fighting for that as well. And that's something that I think that they are within reach of getting. So clerks, I know somebody wrote me the other day, Jay, why don't you start talking about clerks? It's kind of my thing. I always talked about clerks, but there you go. Some information for the clerks. Here's another little caveat, little nugget. Yes, they did come together. They did vote for truck drivers for two different sets of level ups. So they voted for the TTOs level 8 to be level 10, and they voted for the level 7 MVOs to be level 9, I believe, level 9. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to get it, but they brought that up and said this is worth fighting for. So if it's worth fighting for, they're going to bring it up to the post office. The post office is going to counter their office and say, yeah, no. And then they're going to fight back and forth. That's the way the bargaining comes from. And more than likely, they're going to get probably a level 9 for truck drivers and a level 8 for MVS, motor vehicle operators. What does that mean for everybody else? So with that based right there, it also, if that comes to fruition, it gives the carrier union some type of foundation to kind of say, if those guys get it, we should be able to get it too. Now, I'm not saying that Renfro's why is Renfro and your whole crew not doing any of what I just said? Transparency, closed door meetings. Okay. Now, like I said before, with APWU, up until about 2.5 years ago, I used to dog them. I used to talk shit. That's kind of my thing. But they became more transparent, just with the snap of a finger, which is great. So now that we know what they're doing, whether we like what they're doing, at least we have an idea of what to look forward to. In regards to pay raises, I didn't get into the details behind the clerks yet, but I'm sure they're going to be looking for pay raises for them as well. How much? We don't know. But typically, it's a nice It doesn't look like a nice bump initially, but in the 3-year span, it always comes up to, like I said before, $12,000 to $15,000 over the life of the contract, which ain't nothing to sneeze at. So with all that little bits and pieces of things that I just told you, it is union news. It is union information. It is a little backstory and a little bit of know-how so that you all have a backdoor idea on how things work. At our level, the workers level, you're supposed to talk to your shop stewards and go to your union meetings and say, hey, I think we all need XYZ. They hear it enough, y'all vote on it enough, then it is up to them at the local level, your local 444, and they all say, oh, well, my guys all want this. And then they start bringing it and popping it all around the state. And then they start bringing it in from the state representative to go up to the nationals. That's how it works. Politics. So if you don't go to your union meetings, just accept what they give you. Just accept what they give you. It sucks to say that, but if your union is offering anything for you to be involved with them, anything, as far as a Zoom meeting is concerned, because APWU, there are some places that give Zoom meetings. Join it. I don't know what y'all got going on with the rural carriers or the regular carriers, but if you don't go to any meeting and don't vote on the fact that you need Zoom meetings so you don't have to leave your house, then that's on you. But let your voice be heard, because if you don't raise your voice for something, stand for something or fall for everything. All right, this is JH. I don't talk to hear myself talk. I talk to pass on some information. Information at any time is not correct. Come back later and I correct it. I ain't always right, but I'm always passing on informaciones. I'm out. This is JH.
Unexpected expenses stressing you out? Get the money you need now with Loans for Feds, a program designed specifically for federal employees. Bad credit is not a problem. Application is fast and easy with same-day approvals. Apply now.